Welcome to the Bagland Podcast. This is Bagland DP, where we discuss politics, tech, and tangibles. Please excuse, I got my Arctic air going on again, which is off the hook. I appreciate everybody for joining in today. Let me go ahead and cut that off, make sure it sounds a little better. There we go, that sounds a little better. It's been a minute, y'all. It has been a minute. Yes, sir. It has been a minute. It's been a couple weeks. I've been working on my technology channel, of course. But I'm glad that everybody has been liking, sharing, subscribing. Make sure you do that. Like, share, and subscribe. Because I'm reporting the news. Yes, I am. I'm reporting the news. And there's something that I wanted to talk about real quick. I'm going to be jumping through a ton of topics tonight. A lot of analysis. We're going to be going through some different things. You know I'm going to put my take on it. I seen something. Shout out to my homie at Minnesota Stand Up. But I seen something that bothered me. Years ago, you guys have heard my take about my opinion on cup foods on 38th in Chicago. Y'all have heard that from me before. And I happened to see an article that was on Star Tribune. I won't even bother going into the article too deeply. But it says that cup food owners sue Minneapolis over lost business on George Floyd Square. The same folks that called the Minneapolis Police Department that was eventually responsible for the lynching of Mr. Floyd. They want some money. So much from our minority coalition. They got a lot of nerve, don't they? Now, ain't these folks from the Middle East? Was it Palestine or somewhere or whatever? I don't know where they're from. They're somewhere over there. Yeah, this is what we get. This is what we get. And the megalomaniac or masochistic mainstream media is running around telling us, well, we need to support Israel, Palestine. The hell with all that. We don't need to do a damn thing. Black folks, we need our reparations. That's what we need. We need our reparations. That's exactly what we need. See, being that Minnesota is a sanctuary city, this is what you have going on.
Story now developing in Bemidji, where a 22-year-old man is charged with sexually assaulting an 11-year-old girl. And as Gordon Severson reports, there may be other girls and suspects involved. Gordon?
Yeah, Julie, as far as we know, only one person, 22-year-old Oscar Luna, has been charged in this case. But according to a criminal complaint, the victim in this case told investigators that at least 4 men and 2 other young girls were also inside the home when she was sexually assaulted. We want to warn you that some of the details are disturbing. September 23rd, 2 in the morning, Bemidji police say they were called.
Now, the Congressional Black Caucus, they would tell you, well, yeah, we need to be voting for this. This is what they're telling you that we need to be voting for, of course.
Emergency room at Sanford Bemidji Medical Center. Officers spoke with an 11-year-old girl who said she had been sexually assaulted. According to the criminal complaint, the girl told investigators her auntie forced her into a car where men put a bag over her head and drove her to a house on American Court Northwest in Bemidji. The document shows once inside the home, this woman forced the girl to drink alcohol.
Getting hot in here.
The complaint says the girl also had a rope tied around her neck and wrists, and the girl told investigators that 2 other girls were also tied up next to her, and quote, 4 Mexican men were in the room with them. According to court records, the girl says the men sexually assaulted her, and a physical examination showed several injuries on the lower half of her body. The girl told investigators she escaped after one of the other girls untied her, adding that the girl was then punished for it.
We got a whole trafficking scheme going on here. That's what that sounds like, y'all. That sounds like an entire trafficking scheme going on. She said her auntie. So was this somebody her knew? She said her auntie. This was somebody in her family pulling these stunts off.
with one of the men throwing her down the stairs. The complaint shows the 11-year-old girl gave investigators a detailed description of one of the men and the outside of the house. Police used that information to track down and arrest Oscar Luna. At the home, Bemidji police say they found 11 other men who have since been transported by U.S. Border Patrol.
Oh, interesting. U.S. Border Patrol, and this was a child, but they haven't given us their names. Do you know if this would have been Jerome and Quantel and all that? If this would have been some niggas from the north side or Brooklyn Park, they would have had all types of pictures of these niggas. Yeah, they would have had all types of pictures of these niggas up. Well, Quantavious Jones, you know, and they would have been talking about his mama. Oh, his mama used to smoke crack, and yeah, they was doing all types of credit card schemes, and yeah, his mama was also allegedly involved in the COVID grant program, and you know, she was fraudulently. I'm telling you. Any kind of little fraudulent BS or anything nefarious or something that his parents would have been involved in, they would have been out there trying to tell us, well, yeah, it's the black communities doing this and doing that. But yet they have not given us more than one name. They have not given us, they said, how many dudes? Let me rewind that.
They found 11 other men.
11 dudes. This is 11 dudes, man. Raping these girls.
Who have since been transported by U.S. Border Patrol to be processed as illegal immigrants. Bemidji police say it's an ongoing investigation. Luna is scheduled to appear in court on October 9th. Now, I have reached out to Bemidji police several times to get more information on this case with questions like, what happened to the other two girls? Will this auntie be charged in the case? And what about the other men? Will they be charged? So far, they have not returned our request.
Of course they didn't return your request or calls. Let's go to the other article here.
It's a difficult case out of northern Minnesota. A young Bemidji girl sexually assaulted after being led into danger by someone she knew.
Loved ones are now speaking out about this. Renee Cooper joins us from the newsroom with their message to the community. Renee.
Paul, the 11-year-old's extended family say they are heartbroken. They have a lot of questions about what happened to the little girl and who's responsible. The family tells me this case reaffirms what they've always known. There's a systematic inaction when it comes to the abuse of Indigenous women and girls, and they want the community to pay attention.
You know, you have a child that's hurt and her innocence is gone, and there's nothing you can do.
The family of an 11-year-old Bemidji girl banding together to stand behind the young girl who told Bemidji police that she was directed to get into a car with strange men by a woman she was staying with. According to the criminal complaint, the victim says the men put a bag over her head and brought her to a home.
Wait a minute. Let me go back to the criminal complaint. I see something. Oscar Ernesto Luna. He was born January 31st, 2001. State of Minnesota versus Oscar Ernesto Luna. Criminal sexual assault, first degree. Listen, here's his address, 3100 Valencia Avenue, Mission, Texas. This nigga done skipped over the damn border and ended up here. Hey, Jim Crow Joe, what you gonna do about it?
Complaint, the victim says the men put a bag over her head and brought her to a home where they allegedly tied her up, and a man who was later identified as 22-year-old Oscar Luna proceeded to sexually assault and rape her.
Now, I want y'all to understand something from some of these folks coming over here. They're coming from a lawless land, 20-something years old. Now, this dude's 20-something years old and out here taking it. That ain't his first rape. That ain't his first rape, man. This girl's 11 years old. This girl's 11 years old. That's they get down. They been doing this. This ain't new.
The 11-year-old told police 4 other men were around, and at least some of them also assaulted her.
What's it like to hear those words?
Heartbreaking. It's crushing. As an aunt, as a female.
The child's family raises concerns with how information has been released. Bemidji police on Facebook announced they arrested Luna 5 days after the incident. And another week went by before police revealed they found 12 other people in the home at the time. And that U.S. Border Patrol.
So these folks are coming over here and they're all stacked up in one place in one home. They're all stacked up in one place in one home.
11 of them into custody. They were, quote, not immediately identified as suspects. But police say they
Now, like I said, had this been Jerome, if this would have been me and 5 of my homeboys, we all would have been suspects. You were in the home. You should have been knowing what's going on. You got a minor here. Because the first thing, here's the thing. If I'm staying at some house and it's nighttime, you got to keep in mind, they said that the auntie or somebody she knew in the house, I mean, it sounds like these folks' families is into something, man. I don't know. This doesn't sound good. Somebody come in my house and then some family members or somebody would have just came in and I see some 11-year-old girl with a bag over her head in the house. I'm looking up, what's going on here, bro? I'm not letting that ride. Somebody about to get hurt. Well, what's this all about? You got this girl here with something over her head? No, I'm not going for that. So they say they're already caping for these illegals. Damn it. Somebody knows what's going on here. You said it's 11 dudes. It's 11 dudes. It's 11 unidentified folks. Somebody's covering.
are still investigating their possible involvement. Luna is the only man charged.
Why were they here in the first place?
Right.
How'd they get here? We didn't hear none of that. We didn't get none of them answers.
As for the woman the child was with to begin with,
we don't know anything about her. We don't know who she is at all.
It makes me feel like just like I want to throw up almost, you know, it's ridiculous.
Why is there no press conference? Why isn't Chief Maxton speaking out about this? It don't make sense.
the family wants to see more charges against others involved and to get answers about how and why this happened.
It's like, where's the outrage? Why is nobody mad?
What I made a child was ours now. And we're not going to be quiet.
The other thing that makes me kind of wonder, another thing that makes me wonder, like, okay, where's the men at? I'm not seeing none of their cousins. There's no men that I'm seeing on the news. Maybe they could just kind of be scoped out, like, okay, I'm going to handle it. But I'm seeing two women. So I just want y'all to understand the optics. They're already being portrayed as, okay, they don't have no protection. Obviously, if that happened in that 11-year, I don't know what the hell's going on. I want to know who's the father. Where's the father at for this 11-year-old? This sounds like some sick movie type stuff going on right here. None of this makes sense. This sounds like it's some kind of trafficking thing going on up here. You got the chief, he ain't saying nothing. They saying they can't identify people. This is in y'all's back door. Coming right to you, Minneapolis. Coming right to you, Eastside St. Paul, North Minneapolis, Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park. It's on your way. If they getting down like this in these little towns, oh, it's on your way. Shout out to Venezuela, it's on your way. And in this, let me address this while it is. Now listen to this. I'm gonna call the cap. This is Big Caparera.
22 times. Chauvin is serving more than 20 years for the murder of George Floyd. Jeff Wagner has been following this, has some new details for us right now. Jeff, what's happening?
Well, Frank, federal prosecutors say that inmate is 52-year-old John Tursak. They charged him today with attempted murder. He's serving a 30-year sentence for crimes committed while a member of the Mexican mafia gang. Here's what prosecutors say happened on Black Friday. Tursak stabbed Chauvin 22 times with an improvised knife in the law library. Chauvin was taken to a hospital for treatment. Tursak told correctional officers he would have killed Chauvin had they not responded so quickly. This happened at the Federal Correctional Institution in Tucson, Arizona. Prosecutors say Tursak later told FBI agents that he had been thinking about assaulting Chauvin for about a month, but denied wanting to kill him.
Why is the FBI even involved? Never mind that. They say a Mexican mafia member. The Mexican mafia. They say he was a member of the Mexican mafia. Let me give y'all a little breakdown on the Mexican mafia. The Mexican mafia, as people know, especially out there in California and many other institutions across the United States of America, let's stop all the capoeira martial arts. Let's stop it right now. The Mexican mafia is tied and locked in with a lot of these white supremacist gangs, the Aryan Brotherhood, all of that. They're all tied in with them. They rock heavy in those institutions. And we have to go just by looking at, remember that time when all those unidentified race soldiers that was surrounding Chauvin's house, was Chauvin's house at the time? Remember when they were surrounding and protecting his house? You know how much money that cost for that security? You didn't even know who these people were. They were masked and unidentified. So it must have been some kind of militia or white supremacist groups or something like that. Man, we ain't stupid. You can't pay. He couldn't afford that kind of security. But see, just like Rittenhouse and all the others, man, race soldiers take care of each other. I gotta give it to them. They take care of each other, man. When they need some support, they got it. Race soldiers, I'm telling you, they put the bread up. They put the bread up, man. You can't convince me that the Mexican mafia gang member was involved in this. That doesn't make sense. It sounds like they trying to move him to some lower security shit. You know what, y'all? And niggas in Minnesota need to get off of this idea that, oh well, this was planned, and he can't hide, and he can't. This sounds to me like they gonna pull some old, he can't spend all his time, we gotta cut the time. I give it another few years, man, and they might be talking about letting this dude off. Y'all gotta keep in mind, let's take a stroll down, let's take a liberal limousine, stroll down memory lane. Let's take a stroll down memory lane. Do y'all really want to take a stroll down memory lane? Because remember, they were telling the black guards and the Mexican guards up here in Minnesota, they were telling them, well, we don't feel you should be guarding Chauvin. Y'all remember that? Let me pull this up. See, they keep trying to bury this. I'm gonna find it. Yeah, it's all over the internet. Hold on, it's Chauvin's cell phone. County jail. Hold on. They probably scrubbed it. But remember. Oh, here we go. Washington Post. Minnesota jail that held Chauvin. Damn. They trying to get me to pay for it. Hold on. Let me see discrimination complaints. Let me see if I can look that up. There was discrimination complaints. Let me see if I can find it somewhere else. Up, here we go. Remember, let's take a trip down memory lane. 8 Minnesota jail guards filed a lawsuit alleging racial discrimination, that they were barred from working on the floor where a former police officer charged in Floyd's death was being held. I want y'all to think about this. Another article I pulled up, let's tie it all together. Let's tie a little bit together. Remember when they did that interview with Sophia Rashid, a KSTP reporter asked a Muslim woman what's the difference between a hijab and a white supremacist gang regalia? Remember that? You remember that woman? You remember that Muslim woman that went down to Stillwater, Minnesota in 2020, threatened by a biker gang, and Stillwater PD tried to act like they didn't know what was going on? The Aryan Cowboy Brotherhood. The same dude that was in the Aryan Cowboy Brotherhood was the same guy. One of those dudes that burnt down the auto zone, that they found out he was a white supremacist, that burnt down the auto zone on Lake Street, the same dude was caught in Stillwater with the Aryan Cowboy Brotherhood. Y'all go look that up. So now, you can't tell me that you can't convince me that some of these race soldier groups didn't have no connection with none of these law enforcement folks, like they don't know each other. You know what that's like saying? That's like saying I'm a gangbanging ass nigga in Minneapolis, right? And I'm from some set on the south side, and I don't know no serial hood hitters. I don't know no gangbanging ass niggas on the north side. Oh, I don't know that nigga. I don't know none of them. I ain't got no clue. Yeah, I ain't never seen them. No, nigga. Y'all been busting heads and been doing crimes and selling drugs and all kind of stuff. Yeah. The street niggas know street niggas. If you heard about me, nigga, you heard about me if you heard about me in one part of the city, I'm pretty sure you done bump heads with somebody knows me if I'm out here doing my thing. Somebody knows me. You can't tell me you don't know me. If I got a name, I got a name. Y'all know me. Somebody knows me because I run in them same circles. I've been to the county jail. I've been to these different places. So yeah, you're gonna know me. You're gonna know something about me if I'm in that lifestyle. You gonna be familiar with me if I'm out here putting paws on people's jaws and out here stinging people with them pipes. If I'm out here being a serial hood hit and I'm gang banging and slapping bitches and pimping and selling crack and shooting niggas, yeah, y'all gonna know about me. Because if we're all like that, we're gonna hear about each other. They know each other. Race soldiers know each other. Serial hood hitters know each other. 8 guards, African American, Hispanic, Pacific Islander, they mean Asian, said they were segregated and prevented from doing their jobs at the Ramsey County Jail solely because of the color of their skin. They say their supervisor believed they cannot be trusted to professionally perform their duties around Chauvin. See? They had an attorney. Segregation is no place in society or the workplace, and on May 29, 2020, 8 Ramsey County correctional officers experienced blatant discrimination based on race and color. That's what Lucas Castor, an attorney for the guards. Then, look at this. Another plaintiff who was watching cameras in the jail noticed that guards who were minorities were all working on the 3rd floor instead of being dispersed throughout the building. Y'all don't mind me, that's my rotisserie chicken. I'm about to eat some salad tonight. I'm gonna eat healthy. No fried chicken tonight, it's gonna be rotisserie. So you're hearing my rotisserie go off. The lawsuit says the white officers and non-white guards who have lighter skin were not reassigned duties. In one case, one of the plaintiffs was watching cameras when he saw a white lieutenant get special access to Chauvin on May 30th. That lieutenant went into Chauvin's cell, sat on his bed, and patted his back to comfort him. Well, DP, you're reaching. Bagman DP, you reaching, man. You going too far. No. I don't think they bullshitting about this, man. I just sat here and told you, man, that somebody, they saying that it's a Mexican mafia member. I just already told you that the Mexican mafia is all locked in. This is documented. The LAPD has been documented with gang members, white supremacist gangs, white Hispanic gangs with all kinds of Nazi insignia all over their arms and all of that. Yeah, absolutely.
The FBI and the LAPD have taken a huge step in reducing gang activity in the harbor area. Today, authorities announced several arrests in a multi-agency operation focused on getting guns and drugs off the streets.
Orange County reporter David Gonzalez has more from San Pedro. The FBI and LAPD celebrate the end of an investigation that focused on getting guns and drugs off the streets in the harbor area of Los Angeles.
Each one of these guns was destined to get into the hands of a criminal, a violent criminal.
That's the Mexican Mafia. That's the Mexican Mafia. Now, that's just some of the crimes they do. Now, this is from 2012. White supremacist gang does business with the Gulf Cartel. A recent U.S. federal investigation into the Aryan Brotherhood of Texas has uncovered cooperation between violent white supremacist gangs and the Gulf Cartel, an example of increasing business relationship between Mexican drug trafficking organizations and U.S. and street prison gangs. The ATF was going into this. It may seem puzzling that a white supremacist gang will work with a Mexican criminal organization, but the collaboration is not unusual for the Aryan Brotherhood of Texas. In the past, it has collaborated with the Mexican Mafia in Texas and the Mexico-based drug trafficking organizations in a number of criminal activities: human trafficking, arms dealing, drug smuggling. They said there's collaboration between them this is by the FBI's 2011 National Gang Threat Assessment. And you telling me they don't do that in prison? You telling me that they don't do that? There ain't no shot callers? The lieutenant going in the Chauvin cell, patting him on the back for comfort. It also appeared the white guard allowed Chauvin to use a cell phone, the lawsuit says. Man, come on, man. Man, let me tell you, when I make these trips down, when I make my trip down, my liberal limousine trip down memory lane, man, I don't be bull jiving at all about this, man. I'm telling you, these guards ain't lying. Handed that nigga a cell phone. Hey, job done, job well done, son. You done lynched that nigga on 38th in Chicago. Job well done, son. We gonna rent the house you. We gonna make sure you booked. You had that house in Florida, we gonna take care of you. We gonna take care of you. It's gonna look bad to the public, but we got you. We got you. You gonna have commissary, you gonna be straight. Now, I just showed y'all this. This was an article that came from NPR News on February 9, 2021 by way of Associated Press. I just provided evidence. The Mexican Mafia and the white supremacist gangs are lock in step. Let's provide some more. Let's provide some more. Now, this is Wikipedia, but I'm looking at the Aryan Brotherhood, their allies. Here's their allies. Now listen to this. No one's making this up. Their allies, they say, is the Nazi lowriders, Irish mob, Hell's Angels. Those Hell's Angels was down there in Stillwater harassing that Muslim woman. Nazi lowriders, Serranos, Mexican Mafia. Now, who are their rivals? Black Guerrilla Family, Black Peastone, Bloods, Crips, DC Blacks, Nostra Familia. Interesting, ain't it? Now that's just Wikipedia. Let's go to another one. Mexican drug cartels linked to U.S. white supremacists. This is from November 23rd, 2020 from journalism.girlshoopta.com or something. Mexico City, Mexico. Mexico drug cartels are joining forces with white supremacists in the U.S. in order to smuggle and sell drugs and weapons on both sides. Members of the Aryan Brotherhood, a notoriously violent California white supremacist group, are working as hitmen for the Mexican Mafia and Tijuana cartels. Now, let's go into this. You remember that sister down in LAPD that's been investigating these race soldiers, these Hispanic race soldiers? Thomson Reuters, March 30th, LA is investigating a 50-year-old police gang, finally. You've had whistleblowers that's already came out. So now, since I'm reaching, You telling me you're telling me that this dude that so-called stabbed Chauvin 20 times, he's with the Mexican mafia and didn't get the job done. He got orders from the Mexican. It comes from the top. They got shot callers. They got organization. I'm telling you. You telling me that he got the order and he didn't get the job done? I want y'all to read between the lines here and think. You're telling me that somebody from the Mexican mafia done sent a hit out on this dude in Arizona, in one of the biggest hotbeds of the Mexican mafia and them white supremacist gangs down there, California, Texas, Arizona, and he didn't get the job done, and he said he planned on hurting him. He planned on hurting him and didn't get the job done. Do y'all think we're that stupid? Minnesota niggas need to wake up. It's a bunch of niggas in the city right now doing all kinds of backflips. Yeah, you do that. Yeah, you heard him. That's what I'm talking about. He didn't get the job done. He didn't get the job done. Don't you think if he want to kill that man 20 something times, man, you ain't get the job done? Man, if I would have had that Bethlehem and I would have got that job done in about 7 hits. I would have, I'm telling you. And he's a hitman. He's a Mexican mafia hitman. You can't empty that man's arteries, man, in less than 7-8 hits. Come on, man. He wasn't trying to kill that man. He would have got that job done, because if you don't get the job done, them Mexican mafia members will handle you. We got to stop being dumb. We got to get out of the Popeye chicken Negro spiritual spirit. We got to get out of the sexy red. We got to get out of the sexy red vibe, people. We got to get out of that mindset and start thinking a little more critically about this. We got to say, like, wait a minute. Put down the hood rat Hellcat mentality for a moment. Put down the Popeye chicken Negro spiritual butter biscuit and gravy. Biscuit and Caprice Classic and gravy sauce, on a Friday night mindset for a second. Let me put my Dr. Francis Crest Welding hat on for a second here. All right. They've already been trying to get this dude out for a crime that we all seen around the world. Everyone in the world seen that you done lynched this man on 38th in Chicago. Everybody done seen it. Everybody done seen it. Everyone has seen it. You choked, you killed this man in cold blood. And it don't really sound like the ambulance, there was really nobody that was trying to make sure that George was straight. We know that. That's been established. You done paid some niggas in Minneapolis. Here go your $20-30 million. Okay, we don't want to hear your mouth. Okay, we done killed another nigga. We done found him in an apartment in downtown Minneapolis and we done killed him. Oh, we ain't gonna pay for that. Because they feel like, hey, look, we done gave you enough for Floyd. We done gave you Floyd. We done gave you 20-30 million. We don't want to hear your mouth. We don't want to hear no more nigger lips. That's what Minneapolis is looking at this as. And now you done shipped this dude all the way down to Arizona, and you're telling me that a Mexican mafia member didn't finish the job. That's what you're telling me. You're trying to convince me of that. Okay, Minnesota, I'd look into this a little bit more before you start. Yeah, he did his thing. He did. The dude is still alive. He's still alive. Keith up there talking about, well, everyone needs to be safe. Damn his safety. I know Keith is a politician, but mind the store, Keith. Keith up here talking about, well, yeah, I'm unhappy to hear it. I'm sad. Well, nigga, what you sad for? Nigga, what you sad for? Nigga, you should have indicted the DA because they didn't want to prosecute the police and you should have indicted Freeman, nigga. So with these Negro politicians, you know what? I sat there and I watched pretty much majority of the CW, the Charleston and Cam Newton. Newton kept bootlicking for Dion and this, that, and the third. I understand. I get it. I'm really not into sports like that, but like he was like, man, we need something for our people, and I understand it. And I heard they was stealing from the nigga. They was probably stealing. I heard they was breaking in his office and stealing from Dion and all that shit. You know, they should have papered that nigga up down there in Mississippi. But man, here's the thing, man. Celebrity niggas really don't give a damn about regular niggas. They really don't give a fuck. They don't. We know that. And I had so much respect for Charleston. I actually call. He's saying all the stuff that we're afraid to say. And he's kind of going against the establishment in that manner. So, and he don't really give a fuck. There's some things, of course, that he probably, you know, people are like, well, why'd you say this about this person and this, that, and the third? But like, he that pointed out a good attribute. Niggas is too caught up in words as opposed to actions. I just showed you the actions of these lawsuits. This dude probably got a cell phone. He's getting pat on the back. The guards ain't lying. Hey man, you Mexican, you fried rice ass nigga, you Popeye chicken ass nigga, you taco seasoned ass nigga, you black, Hispanic, or white. We don't want you guarding this white man. We want a good old boy guarding this white man because we may think you ain't professional. You gonna get emotionally involved, so we can't guard you that. Then they patting Chauvin on the back. They probably bought that nigga Burger King like Dylan Roof. Ah man, I bet you they gave that nigga a double whopper with cheese. Not even a double whopper. He had Culver's, the butter burger, medium well, medium. How white folks be eating, medium well done. His fries soggy. Gave him a little custard shake. I bet they hooked him up. And you trying to tell me, well, a Mexican mafia member got hired and didn't get the job done? The Popeyes chicken Negro spiritual people. Y'all starting to sound like those Negroes down in Georgia, man, that was talking about alien spaceship for reparations and Mars. We gonna mine some subterranean caves and get our reparations from Mars. You sounding like them niggas, the Earth people. Y'all starting to sound like them. Niggas be putting too much fentanyl in their damn Hennessy. Y'all got too much fentanyl in your Hennessy. You probably wish Taco Bell was still up on Franklin, nigga. You got too much fentanyl in your Hennessy. Y'all tripping, man. No, man. Now this is another thing. Shout out to DJ UTV. Fair use. I'm having fun tonight. Fair use. We gotta shout out my homie in a minute, man. We gonna go through a Revelware review in a minute because I gotta give him his flowers. I don't give a damn about Gucci and all Prada and all that bullshit. The hell with that. Revelware. Yeah, you know, Revelware. That Indigenous American, Foundational Black American, Maroon Society. We need to be making money off of our culture. Everybody's making money off of our culture, taking all our stuff. Dolphins kill sharks. Yeah, we gonna get into that. The Negro League. We gonna get into that. This is something I talked about a minute ago. I got an unpopular opinion on here. Y'all not gonna like some of this shit. I don't care. You remember that dude I covered? I said some real unpopular shit. I said some real unpopular stuff before. I said something. There was some dude. Hold on, let me see. Let me change the channel here. How do I switch my account? There we go. Oh, okay. I ain't even got to copy and paste. DJ, you go crazy. There was a brother. Why? I don't even want to call him a brother. I don't even want to call this dude a brother. There was this nigga, some punk ass nigga, that which I suspect to be a hood rat, some sexy red attendee probably left this nigga with her daughter. He was supposed to watch the daughter. This happened in St. Paul. I don't know what's in the air in St. Paul, but this domestic abuse shit in St. Paul is crazy. Shout out to St. Paul. This nigga, they say he had been beating on the girl, whatever the case may be. The toddler had all types of burns, like he had the water real hot to try to burn the little girl. They found out that he done raped the little girl and shook her and beat her and stuff like that. And I stand by what I said before. they could let one of these race soldier cops out for 15 minutes. I stand by what I said. They could let some of these race soldier cops out for 15 minutes. They could come out there and blow that nigga away and throw it and send their ass right back into jail. Fuck them. I have a zero tolerance policy on niggas, race soldiers, anybody that messes with children in that manner. This baby was, let's go back down memory lane and look at this toddler. Hold on. Is this it? Mother beat the 2-year-old to death in St. Paul. Okay, that was in 2021. Maplewood man accused of killing girl's 1-year-old. Child, okay, he appears in court. Damn it, man. This was in October 22nd. It got published. Maplewood man killed of killing girlfriend's 1-year-old appears in court. This looks like, what block is this? This looks really familiar. His bail was set for $2 million. Charged with second-degree murder, beating to death in the girl's apartment. He beat and burned the girl and recorded it on cell phone. He recorded it on cell phone. Y'all remember that case? Showing me some jab crap. Do y'all remember that case? October 20th, 2022. Y'all remember when I covered this? They still, you know what? They still haven't showed a mugshot of this dude. Terrence Valdez Leslie. $1,400 block of County Road B east of Maplewood. 17-month fresh burn stirred cheek, each on her neck, right forearm, shoulder. The child had broken bones, multiple injuries, bleeding in the brain, injuries consistent with sexual assault. According to the complaint, Leslie and the child's mom were in the apartment with the girl when the police arrived Tuesday morning. Both said Leslie watched the child that day while her mom was at work. So the dude was watching the child at her mom's at work. Why ain't that nigga working? Why? Leslie told police he was preparing a bath for the child and started the hot water, but he left the bathroom for a moment to tend to the dog, and the child fell in the hot water. When he was drying her off, the skin peeled off, and he didn't call the police. That's when he called the child's mom, who returned from work. Charges alleged that's not what happened. Officers noted the bathtub was completely dry except for some droplets around the drain, and there was no damp towels in the bathroom. The child's burn patterns man, let me look this dude up. Let me look this dude up. No. Nigga, you get no pass. Okay, this punk ass nigga was sentenced to 40 years. He was sentenced to 40 years in prison for Maplewood. Hey, you niggas in the prison, y'all better stand up. Y'all niggas better put that Bethlehem in him or turn him into a Becky. You booty bandit niggas better turn that nigga into a Becky or put that Bethlehem in him. He'll serve 26 years, piece of shit. Yeah, he got 40 years. He should have got more. If he was in Texas, man, that nigga would have been walking. If he was in Texas, that nigga would have been walking around like Megan Thee Stallion in that bitch. Oh, they would have did him dirty. They still haven't showed this dude's mugshot. I'm wondering, is he white? He's a nigga nonetheless. I'm starting to wonder, is he white? Let me see if I can find this dude's mugshot. Oh yeah, we gonna go to the DOC. Yeah. Oh yeah. We gonna go to the Minnesota DOC. Nah, nigga, you do some shit like that, we putting you out there. See, the serial hood hitters, the serial hood hitters ought to be get down on niggas like this. Let's get the name. Okay, let's get the name. Yeah. No, we gonna do this live. Terrence Leslie. Oh, Terrence Leslie Valdez. Let me see. Oh, it's a yeah. Where's this nigga at? Rush City? Gladiator School? Yeah, get that nigga straight, y'all. Y'all need to get him straight. They put him in Rush City. Homicide. Yep. Born in 1996. This bitch ass nigga gonna be out in 2049. Yeah. Y'all didn't think I'd bring that up. The reason why I bring that up is because of this.
I'm saying, so I don't know how that shit went or whatever, but they couldn't prove what they proved though, blood. Like, you know what I'm saying? He supposed to been bathed in my daughter and claimed he walked off to go get a dry towel to dry off with. For one, she 13 months. They supposed to have the little baby tub inside of the tub. You feel me? What you ran the water? It just don't add up to me. He was already jealous that she was already had a baby and he was in love with her. You feel me? He was. They both was sprung on each other whatsoever.
See, man. I'm gonna have to say something now. All the little sexy red hood rats, the little Hellcat hood rats, the little demon childs. They end up letting these dudes get around their kids. They don't really vet them. They didn't have their daddy vet them. They ain't nobody really vetted them. Their brother and their uncle ain't nobody vet these niggas. And they let them do exactly. Now I'm listening to this. Shout out to DJ UTV. Fair use. Great channel. I like DJ UTV. He might have me nigga like me up there one day. He has THF Bay Zoo on there. And he's, breaking down like what happened to his daughter. His daughter got killed, which I believe is a murder. And that's why I brought up this case. That's why I brought this case up as well, because it's eerily similar. You're seeing a lot of these different situations where you have these rats where and the thing is, here's the thing. If I was a woman and I would have came home, I feel like they kind of protected them. Because if I would have came home, now I think he was beating old girl too. They get these dusty ass niggas. How many times y'all and I'm not trying to get on Ramsey County, but damn it, y'all know my track record, man. How many times do we keep hearing about these bum ass niggas in Ramsey County, and it happens in Minneapolis too? But I'm just saying, it's these bum ass niggas that I done heard in a lot of times in Ramsey County, where they're beating the woman up. One time I covered a case where it was some dude where another woman was choosing on another dude, and the dude ended up shooting the boyfriend on University Avenue because she wasn't dealing with him no more. These bras be treacherous, man. And then there was another case where they was with some dude. This girl was with some dude, and he got mad because she moved on, and this nigga, it was somewhere in Frogtown. This nigga comes in and shoots the kids, and he shoots her, and one kid gets away. What's up with these dudes, man? See, this is why we need a rebuilding of Tulsa. Damn it, we need a fucking Negro world war. We need a Negro Civil War, man. We need the serial hood hitters banned, hog-tied, tarred, feathered, and ran up out of town. That's what we need, man. We really need a Negro Civil War. We gotta start separating ourselves from these dudes, man. We really gotta start separating and see. The thing is, man, is we got a bunch of we got a bunch of man. That's jeez.
Oh, he's supposed to walk off and get a towel. Came back. She was already drowning, unresponsive. You feel me? But they had grabbed him and let him go because the autopsy came back inconclusive. It was just water pressure on her lungs. They can't tell if it was forced. You know what I'm saying? You don't have
This is the same case. This is the same damn case, man, from this nigga out here in Maplewood, charged with Ramsey County, 2nd-degree murder. Fresh burns to the right cheek. Bruises all over the abdomen, man. That's why I say, was this woman protecting this dude? Was this woman protecting this dude? Because if I would have been a woman and if I would have came home and I would have seen my child in that condition, man, he's done. Nigga, you ain't making this out of here. Broken bones, injuries consistent with sexual assault. Listen what he said. He told the police he was prepping a bath for the child and started the hot water, but he felt that, why ain't that nigga working and why ain't she with her child? Why? Nigga, your bitch ass is supposed to be up working. This nigga sitting around playing Xbox, smoking weed. We have a beta male brigade going on in the United States of America right now, man. Dr. Claude Anderson warned us. Dr. Claude Anderson and Dr. Cress Welsing warned us. King warned us, Malcolm warned us, but man, Cress Welsing and Dr. Claude warned us, man. We have somewhat of an underbelly in our society, and like I say, I'm not necessarily giving a pass to the race soldiers. I'm not giving a pass to the system of racism and white supremacy. But I'm talking to the niggas now. This right here, this situation that Bezos talking about, and this situation that I just pulled up on Fox 9 News, that's a nigga problem. We can solve that overnight. We can catch niggas like this down bad and do they ass dirty. Just like when a nigga steps on your shoes, just like when I owe you some money. Just like when I owe you some money or when I step on your shoes, or oh man, you done hit my baby mama. Yeah, just like that. We can start getting rid of niggas like that. They need to be banned from the neighborhood. You don't get a chicken sandwich. You don't get to go to the east side and get a chicken sandwich, nigga. You don't get to go to Brooklyn Boulevard, you know what I'm saying, and get a gyro. Niggas catch you down bad and do you dirty. That's what other cultures do. You don't get to do shit like this. You don't get to do stuff like this and just get away and everybody just kind of just says, well, you know, he had problems and all that. No. Boiling water. This shit's crazy, man. The girl's mom told Leslie, called her between 4 to 5 p.m. on Tuesday, during which Leslie told her the child fell in the tub and was burned. And he didn't call the police. She returned home and spent time trying to arrange a ride to the hospital. This bitch ass nigga ain't have a car? What's up with these hoes, man? Damn. The emergency room, they should have arrested the mama. Because the thing is, it's like, they found stuff on the cell phone, they said. They should have arrested the mama. Like, it says, the emergency, I'm never going to stop talking about this, man. The emergency room doctor told investigators many of the bruises on the child's body were old, which indicates ongoing abuse. So this bitch knew that this nigga was doing this to her child. There was also fresh bruises on the child's face and blood behind the child's eardrum, indicating a brain injury, which means you had to hit this child hard. Here we go again. The child's mom told police she's been dating Leslie for 2 to 3 months and they've been living together for several weeks. Let me give y'all the backdrop on this. I don't even need, I'm going to be an assumption. I don't like drawing the conclusions and assumptions, but I'm going to be an assumption ass nigga. I'm going to be the assumption skunk. You met this bum ass, weed smoking, Xbox playing, non-driving ass nigga. She probably was a couple 100 pounds, maybe another 100 pounds overweight or something. I don't know. I don't think she looked like Sexy Red. And she moved this dude in 2 to 3 months, and now you're living with this dude. You haven't vetted him. He don't sound like, you said, I gotta arrange. You gotta arrange for a ride to the hospital. After initially denying Leslie abused her, she admitted he punches and kicks her. So now I gotta start going into the, now I gotta start going into another analysis mode. She should have been arrested and charged too, because you didn't protect your child. But see, they didn't do that because they want her to have another baby. You see how sick the white supremacist is? They should have arrested this hood rat and charged that bitch with a crime. There's black women and there's hoes and bitches. She ain't no black woman as far as I'm concerned, or whatever. Well, I don't know what color she is, but man, I don't think she was white. Maybe she was. I don't know. This shit happens too damn much. Anyway, in the last few weeks, the child's mom said Leslie assaulted her while she was holding the girl and some of the blows struck the child. She told police she was physically fine when she left her in Leslie's care on Tuesday. That's why she should have been arrested and charged with child endangerment. Because the child is dead now. The child is dead. But Ramsey County is so callous and vile that they would let a woman like this continue to be out and reproduce. It doesn't mention anything about the child's father as well, of course. A search of Leslie's phone turned up several videos and images of the alleged abuse, including a video of Leslie yelling at the child to shut up and stop crying when she quietly whimpers after he forcefully moves her head. The videos were taken prior to the girl suffering the burns to her body. You know what they should have did? You know what his penalty should be? Oh, I'm harsh. Nigga, the same thing that happened to that child should happen to you in prison. Niggas ought to beat your ass, burn you, and that nigga ought to be sexually assaulted. Yes, I said it. You damn right I did. I mean every damn word too. It should be some booty bandits that basically give that nigga should be running that nigga in a trapezoid assault. They ought to be flipping that bastard every day, so he sees how that feels. They say he has a criminal history. Adjudicated delinquent for threats of violence in Hennepin County in 2009. Adjudicated delinquent. Possession of a firearm, 2012, so you know the nigga can't fight. He was charged in 2016 with first-degree murder and second-degree murder, but was found not guilty. Then he was convicted of being... Wait a minute, okay. So now, nigga, are you a rat? Hold on, let's go back. Adjudicated delinquent for threats of violence in Hennepin County in 2009. Adjudicated delinquent in Hennepin County for being an ineligible possession. So he had a pipe in 2012. Then he was charged in 2016 with first degree murder. So that means that's another pipe. He was charged in 2016 with first degree murder and second degree murder, but found not guilty. So that means he was charged with another pipe. And then he was convicted of being an ineligible person in the possession of his firearm in 2017. So 2012, he got charged with a pipe. 2016, he got charged with a first degree murder and a second degree murder, which means that he was charged with another pipe. You couldn't do the murder without a pipe. This nigga can't fight. He's beating up women and he's raping children and he's raping little girls and he's breaking their bones and burning them in a bath. This nigga can't fight. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I'm not a person that promotes violence. I'll promote it now. Put me in Rush City for 30 minutes, man, and throw me in the cage with this nigga. I'll light him up. Put me in the cage with this nigga in about 5 minutes, and I'll get this nigga the Beanie Siegel beat down. Put me in the cage with him. Just give me 5 minutes. Like I say, when I was in my 20s, I wasn't much of a shooter. I wasn't into that shooting stuff, man. Put me in the cage with that nigga right now. I'm older now. I'm much older than 20 right now. Put me in a cage with him in Rush City for 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes with this nigga. And I'm out of shape. And I'll give him the beats. I'll give him the beats in 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes. Cause he ain't gonna fight no dudes. Look what he did. So this is the state. This is Ramsey County. This is Minnesota that I'm calling out on this. They didn't lock the hoe up. The nigga done got caught with all kinds of pipes. He was convicted of being ineligible for a pipe in 2017. This nigga ain't even supposed to be out. He's not even supposed to be out of jail. So now I'm starting to think, is he a rat? What evidence do you got? What you doing? Man, shout out to RevoWare. Let's go into RevoWare in a minute before we go into that next analysis. My man Simbali is a great company called RevoWare, RevoWer .company.site. RevoWare, RevoWare.company.site. He got the space age. Let's get a little space age music. Let's get a little music going on. Let's get a little music going on. Let's get a little music going on, man. He got the space age sweaters, the space age trucker hat, the foundational Black American t-shirt, the Maroon Society, Heaven's Devils, Negro League United. I got to get me some stuff for my birthday pretty soon from this. Indigenous American. Man, y'all got to go and check out the Savio Fair sweaters, the Today's Mathematics, the Dope sweater, Heaven's Devils. I mean, man, y'all got to check these out. You know, what I really like about the foundational Black American t-shirt, let me tell you what I really like about that, man. Black Americans, man, we're some special niggas, like Dr. Claude Anderson said. Well, some people say, well, y'all ain't special. Yes, we are. You know why? Because the same folks is hating on us, talking about, well, y'all niggas need to speak up for Israel and Palestine and all that. Nigga, we helped y'all in World War I or World War II. Yeah. We helped y'all in World War I or World War II, man. We was over there in them concentration camps giving Hitler the business. Muhammad Ali said the Viet Cong ain't called me no nigga. Frederick Douglass, he was trying to speak against the Chinese Exclusion Act. Was that the Chinese Exclusion Act, Frederick Douglass? When they didn't want to let the Italians in, who was it? New day, new day. Nothing is too strong. Man, we were looking out for people that don't look out for us, man. We was trying to speak up for immigrants. When Woodrow Wilson didn't want to let Italians in, and then Woodrow Wilson didn't want to let nobody in. He didn't even want to let you white people in sometimes. Some of you white people, they didn't even want to let in. Y'all up here talking about what we don't need no reparations. Man, please. Twitter, please. Yes, we do. We made sure that y'all when y'all was eating potatoes and linguine and you was sitting over there struggling in Italy and all these other places, it was foundational blacks that was stomping for y'all, saying, man, let these niggas in. Let them have a fruit. Let them enjoy the fruits of the labor. We got off the plantation and started building Tulsa and Nicodemus, Kansas, and all kinds of different places. We was building all kind of stuff. We said, man, y'all come on over here. Y'all getting persecuted over here. Y'all over here eating. Y'all drinking beet juice and rutabaga casserole. Y'all drinking beet juice and rutabaga casserole. Come over here and get some of this cornbread and collard greens. Come over here and get some of this post Jim Crow collard greens, nigga. Talking about we gotta help Israel. We ain't gotta do a damn thing. What we gotta do is get some of these Revo Wear shirts. That's what I say. I like the foundational Black American t-shirt right here. You got an extra small, large, 2X, 3X for you hefty niggas, 3X for you Popeyes biscuit, beans and rice and chicken finger niggas. We got a 3X for you. You got the American flag. Shout out to Grace Wisher. We got the Maroon Society for the Seminoles that was giving Andrew Jackson hell. See, we supposed to make money off our culture. We ain't supposed to let Fat Joe tell us that Puerto Ricans made the culture. We not supposed to be doing that. We ain't supposed to be listening to Akon talking about we shouldn't be getting our reparations. Yeah, man.
When somebody drowning, they probably panicking. You feel me? That's all they could have proved. So I ain't never got no justice behind that shit, bro. As far as my justice, fuck the law justice. Like I still ain't really coped and got a chance to talk to my baby mama about my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you really believe this or not? Because when I talk to her about it, I'm like, damn, like you don't feel like you taking up for this nigga. Like you don't feel it was possible. Like what raised the red flags in my antennas up, homie. You know what I'm saying? I don't really be talking about a lot of shit, but I'm gonna just share this story with you. What raised my antennas up on that situation, gang? If you ever see a child unresponsive in any fashion or form, first thing you supposed to do is call 911.
And see, that's what that dude in Maplewood didn't do. That's why I'm so bugged up about that whole situation. I don't like that, man. And you know what? That article, that situation, I felt like that situation, man, went over Minnesota's head. I'm not talking down on nobody or none, man. I'm just saying that I haven't really heard too many Minneapolis outlets. I ain't heard no nigga outlets really bring this situation to attention. I haven't heard of none of the Minnesota podcasts really bring this situation to attention. These niggas is not just beating these hoes up, these little hood rats that gets move them in after meeting them for 2 weeks. They hurting the children as well. And nothing's really happening about it. I don't think nobody's really taking these niggas to task. Like I say, let's lock in. Lock me in the cage with this nigga. Give me about 5 minutes. I'll bust him up. I'll bust this nigga up with no air. Like I say, I don't work out. I'll bust this nigga up easy. See what you could do to a child. You could burn a child and you can assault a child and stuff. See, with me, it don't work like that. I'm used to rumbling when I was little. I'm used to doing a little bit of rumbling. That ain't gonna work with me. You ain't gonna be able to do that to me. And I could take a beating. And I could give them too. You see what I'm saying? We used to do that. We used to do that in high school and in our, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old and stuff like that. We used to give and take. But when you doing this to child, I do not believe that this man did not do what they said he did. And you know how I feel about, the DAs and the law and stuff like that. I don't trust them. But I don't believe that this man that got that 40 years off of just cap. This nigga wasn't no revolutionary ass nigga. This wasn't no Chairman Fred type nigga. He wasn't no organized dude. This dude was running around doing pistol play. He's beating on women. I believe that nigga did that shit. I don't think 40 years was enough. They shipped Chauvin down to Arizona. I think they should have shipped that dude down to Bloody Beaumont. Y'all don't know about Bloody Beaumont, do you? They should have sent that nigga down. Chauvin had a federal crime. That's why they wanted him in a federal prison so he could do easier time as opposed to a state prison. Just like with the Ahmaud Arbery family that Biden's DOJ tried to cover up. The same heifer that dropped the Emmett Till case was the same DOJ that they was trying to give Ahmaud Arbery's killers, them race soldiers that shot that brother in cold blood down in Georgia. They was trying to give them federal time, so they don't get that hard Georgia time. Man, them Georgia state prisons ain't no joke. They in there now, and the family was like, look, that nigga shouldn't get no easy federal time. No, put them in them old school Jim Crow Georgia state prisons. Put them in there with them heavy hitters up there. So now they doing hard time. Yeah, that the dude should be doing hard time. Dude should if they could put Chauvin in the federal prison, and see, they got him in a safe prison. They ain't put him in Leavenworth. They put him in was it Tucson, Arizona, whatever. I don't think that one is that bad. I think they should have sent him to Leavenworth or Bloody Beaumont. And they ain't gonna put him in Gen Pop. They ain't gonna put him in general population. But that dude that did this to this Tyler from here in Maplewood, Minnesota, they should have put dude, let me think of somewhere. High Desert, California. They should have put him there. Or they should have put him in let me think. What's that nigga man to be on the Crip nigga? What's his name? Percy, OG Percy. They should have put it where you talking about Ferguson. They should have put him in Ferguson or some shit. Put him in a place, man, where there ain't no heat and ain't no HVAC and there's bugs and there's rats and centipedes about yay high. Put him in somewhere where he really got to earn his keep. Put him, since he's so tough, put him in population. Yeah, he ain't no high figure. He get some dusty ass nigga from Ramsey County. That nigga probably from, I don't know, he probably ain't even from here. That nigga probably from Illinois or some shit. He probably can't even go back home. Yeah, that nigga can't even go back home. That nigga might be from Chicago, from somewhere. And he came up here trying to play tough guy, raping little girls and beating on women. Yeah. Put that nigga in Cook County. If he's from Chicago, send him home. Put that nigga in Cook County. He ain't gonna survive in Cook County. Oh yeah, this nigga talking about he raping little toddlers and stuff, man. Put that nigga in Cook County. Yeah, put him in Cook County and see what happens. He ain't gonna do that. But that's why I brought this up, man. I know I'm going off the deep end, but it really pissed me off.
This nigga did, gang.
What he do?
Why don't you ask me what this nigga do, bro? This nigga wrapped my daughter up unresponsive in a towel blood and drove my daughter from the house to my baby mama job at Walmart, gang. You feel me? So I don't know if he was panicking and trying to cover up. I don't know.
Man, that's a cover up. I would tell THF Bezos to his face we talk. Nigga, that's a cover up. Nigga, that's a cover up because the thing is, yeah, you could be afraid or whatever like that. The right thing's gonna tell you, man, I'm not a medical professional. Let me take this child. Even if I did something wrong, oh, the baby was in the bin too long. She was hot. Whatever the case may be, she burnt. Man, I'm bringing that child straight to whatever I get, whatever charges I get. Oh, I stepped out to get a sandwich and the baby fell and got burnt. Whatever. I'm taking that to the sin because I'm an adult and I'm responsible. When your children are among me and you leave your children in my presence, I'm responsible for them. That was the rule. Y'all remember the rule? Anytime you go with somebody out in public or anytime somebody's around you, you're responsible for them, which means that if I got a homeboy and he's coming over to my house and then we go to the store and something happens, I'm responsible for him. That's the rule, right? I'm responsible for anybody in my presence. You my guest, I'm responsible for you. That's how it's supposed to go, right? Well, no, every man for himself or whatever. What's up with you niggas, man? You don't wrap the baby up and bring it to Walmart. The baby died by that time. He wrapped the baby up and bring the baby to Walmart. That girl should have put that baby down, man, and stabbed that nigga at Walmart.
I don't know. Like, I wouldn't say the nigga... I don't know nothing about it, but I ain't gonna say he didn't kill my daughter. You get what I'm saying? Like, it just all didn't add up. Like, instead of him calling the ambulance to come protect my child, he drove unresponsive to the hospital. And I don't, like, that was a deep situation for me to even speak on, but I'm gonna just share this with you today. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the interview to be so boring. I know I got a lot of clocked in and locked in with me. So, like, when people see me get high.
Come on, bro. I'm listening to you, too.
When people see me get high, or whatever I do, my choice of drug, you feel me? Like the trauma that I've been through within my lifestyle, a lot of niggas don't know. Like
trauma, black men going through things like this. Well, how did this nigga end up like this? How did this nigga end up a serial hood hitter? How did he hit a man? There be all kind of shit to be going on. When some man, if somebody does something like that to your daughter, you're not gonna be right. And I could tell that she's taking up for the girl. It's the same situation that I read about with the Maplewood dude. The hoe is taking up for this nigga because she ain't been arrested. She should have went to the police and said, I'm bogus. Y'all need to file charges on me. That would have been the right thing to do. She's supposed to be up in Stillwater, Red Wing right now with that nigga doing time, and she's not, and don't nobody care. See, that went over Minneapolis' head. Wasn't no marches for that little baby. That little baby ain't robbed nobody. That little baby ain't give out no fake 20 no counterfeit bills. Damn right I said it. That baby was totally innocent. Ain't have a blemish in the baby's name. Nothing. Yet and still beaten and raped by a bitch ass nigga that had hella pistol charges. And he's sitting in Rush City right now. Yep. Because nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody but me. I had some interesting information. This white dude, I heard this pastor. You know I'm not a fan of pastors, y'all, and you know why. But this dude, it's always, you know, somebody that basically tries to, you know, it's always somebody that tries to, they try to basically talk slick to the person giving the message. And I thought this was very interesting. Listen to this.
Yes, sir. You have a title of reverend and you have a church and you quote from the Bible, but aren't you really just an atheist? The last word? Aren't you really just an atheist? Well, you'll have to decide that for yourself. You've heard what I've said. You don't know yourself. The only difference is, it's interesting. I believe in God in me. You believe in God in the sky. I believe he's closer to me. You believe he's way off. Who's the biggest atheist? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. You have a title of...
Dude didn't really have much to say after that. He didn't have much to say. Now, I don't know how this is going to go, but you know I got to say something about this. But it looked like the judge is not happy with the prosecution. This is how I know. Damn, November 5th? Okay. All right, hold on.
Annoyed about this, Miss Hilton. I just am. This is ridiculous. Your witness list has grown by 2/3 since then. And I don't know why. You better have a dang good explanation on the 16th, because if you don't, I'm going to exclude it. Okay. But right now I'm telling you, without anything further, it's gone. Well, we would like to exclude a lot more on that date, because this is ridiculous. There is no plausible explanation I've gotten and that would suffice, that we just kind of keep, well, you keep dripping and driving out evidence.
Well, we'll be asked to be heard on the 16th, Your Honor, and we'll have all the explanations for the court.
I'm telling you, it better be a good explanation, and if it's not, I'm going to exclude it. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Really, I am really annoyed.
This dude, the young thug, the young thug judge, he's tired of that case. He's like, man, lock this nigga up and let's keep moving. Yeah, he's like, man, I'm tired of this. Let me see what else we got. We got some other. Oh yeah, this dude, this brother got bars. I want to put that out there. Let me see. Here we go.
Multiply polynomials, that's the topic. Sit back in 1 minute, I'm about to rock it. 2 turns, multiply by 2. Sit back, relax, and watch how we do it. Be the 2x2 box. I'm about to kill it, stay healthy.
Fair use, YouTube, fair use. Fair use.
Then 2x, put the 4x squared, and you know I don't care. Cause when it comes to math, you know I got the flow. Cause with their period, come on.
Now this is a, I'm not gonna play no more because I don't want to get a strike. This was a math teacher. This is a brother that was, he was rapping over the college dropout beat, doing math. He was doing math. All right, and the quality was so janky I had to kind of stop it and stuff like that, you know. But it was dope. This brother was basically rapping while doing math, teaching the class. Let's run through this. Okay, what else we got here? What else we got? Oh, do y'all remember this? I'm probably gonna get strike for this, but I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Fair use YouTube, fair use YouTube. This is off to the bars. Did y'all know that this was actually off of the Throw Some D's on it? Do y'all remember that? Did y'all know that?
I used to think about immature things.
I had no idea that this was off to the Throw Some D's on it.
Do you want me? Are you gonna call?
And then Millie Jackson, look, this is from Millie Jackson. I can imagine what you told her. Oh man, I'm telling you. And they say black Americans ain't got no damn culture. Y'all crazy as hell. They have no idea. Man, I'm telling you. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. What do we got here? Now, okay. Now, do you remember all these dumbass niggas who was like, yeah, man, I would sit with Jay-Z and stuff. This is what he says himself.
There's something interesting online, Jay. I'd love to hear what you think about this. If you had a choice between getting paid $500,000 in cash or lunch with Jay-Z, which would you choose?
You gotta take the money. What I'm gonna say?
Oh man.
Yeah, man. Everything now I'm gonna say.
No, only because people say, of course you take lunch with Jay-Z because the wisdom that you would get from him would be so beneficial to you. There would only be a matter. You would take the money.
Yeah, because you got all that in the music for $10.99. That's a bad deal. I wouldn't tell you to cut a bad deal. Like,
I don't
take
know.
the $500,000, go buy some albums.
You dumbass niggas that was running around talking about me. Yeah, I'd rather sit with Jay-Z. You bunch of nut gobblers. Y'all a bunch of nut gobblers, man. Y'all some testicle sea lampreys. That's all that is. Man, give me the money. You have a bunch of whoremonger ass Negroes up there talking about, I just want to take a selfie with this nigga. You just want you would bend over. If Jay-Z told you to bend over, nigga, you would bend over. If he wouldn't even have to give you a feature. If he could just do a little Snapchat sex with you nut sucking ass niggas would probably just bend over. And he's telling you to hit to your face with kale king, fried okra and kale. He's telling you, man, take the $500K. Don't be a nutsucker. Don't gargle my balls, nigga. Take the $500K. Do y'all remember that? These were men. Now, I ain't talking about women. These were men that were going around talking about, well, yeah, man, I'd rather sit with Jay-Z and stuff like that. They're a nut gargler. They're a nut gargler. They were a nut gargler. Now, look. This is interesting. This is a guy. She looked like a native woman. She said, I took a real Jim Crow. My homie sent this to me a while back. He said, she said, I took a real Jim Crow literacy test and here's what happened.
Print every third word in the same line. Original type smaller in the first line into that comma, but capitalize the fifth word that you write. Oh my gosh.
Fair use, YouTube. Fair use.
You ever have a teacher that like you just knew hated you and they hated teaching and they hated kids? Like I definitely had those teachers. I'm like, why are you even here? I know you hate me. You hate everything you do. That's how this felt. I'm about to take the 1960s Louisiana literacy test that was given to prevent them from being able to vote. I don't know how I'm going to do on this test. So let's dive in and see would I have the right to vote in Louisiana in the 1960s. Hi, I'm Danielle Romero, and thank you so much for being with me today on my channel where we have been diving into hidden history and American identity.
She said Danielle Romero. Okay, let me see. She looks native. I'm not sure. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to pass judgment on the sister here. She's posted the literacy test here. Literacy test state of Louisiana. I'm looking at it right here myself. I actually got it. Matter of fact, I'm going to save it because I'm going to send it to all my homies so they can see this shit. The state of Louisiana literacy test. This test is to be given to anyone who cannot prove a 5th grade education. Do what you are told to do in each statement. Nothing more, nothing less. Be careful as one wrong answer denotes failure of the test. You have 10 minutes to complete the test. Draw a line around the number or letter of this sentence. draw a line around the number or letter of this sentence. That sounds tricky. So draw a line around the number. Okay, so you just draw a line around the number or letter of this sentence. What the? Okay. All right. Okay. So I just draw a line around, what kind of line? Draw a circle or a line? Okay. All right. Draw a line under the last word in this line. Okay. So this is all right. Cross out the longest word in this line. Okay. So that'd be longest. Draw a line around the shortest word in this line. So the shortest word would be the. Yeah, THE, the. Circle the first, comma, first letter of the alphabet in this line. The first letter of the alphabet in this line. Well, the first letter would be a C. In the space below, draw 3 circles, one inside engulfed by the other. Okay, then let me go back to this video because it is hella confusing.
And today I'm going to take a test live. And it's not just any test. It's actually one of the actual tests that the state specifically coming. The test varied by state to state because it was truly whatever people wanted to create for the test, they could create. There was no rules guiding.
Basically, I'm white and I say so. I'm white and I say so. That's really what she's saying. I'm white and I say so. Yeah, you Negroes ain't gonna vote. You Negroes ain't gonna do this. You ain't gonna do that. Yeah, we created this Constitution, the 14th Amendment for you Negroes, but you know, you're not gonna do this and you're not gonna do that because I am white and I say so. That's exactly what she was saying.
Some of these tests did focus on citizenship and laws, others on logic, and this one I think is a little bit more of a logic one. One of the tests from Alabama focused really heavily on civic procedures with questions like, name the Attorney General of the United States, and can you be imprisoned under Alabama law for a debt? Now remember, these are questions that you need to answer before you're allowed to register to vote.
Man, the average person doesn't know this shit. Anyway,
Georgia,
okay, here we go.
Enhanceable. So Reconstructing Society, Ulysses S. Grant won the popular vote by a razor-thin margin, thanks to these newly enfranchised African-American voters. And by the end of Reconstruction, over 2,000 freed African-American men had been elected to public office in the South.
You hear that?
This is like catching a popular vote by a razor. I gave us the 15th Amendment in 1870, which granted African. Obviously, we're talking about right after the end of the Civil War, right at the end, after the Emancipation Proclamation, and they're reconstructing society now with these freed people of color. The Reconstruction era gave us the 15th Amendment in 1870, which granted African American men the right to vote. And so a fleeting moment, it felt like maybe America was stepping towards, like, okay, a new dawn. And just to give you a sense of how transformative this moment was, President Ulysses S. Grant won the popular vote by a razor-thin margin, thanks to these newly enfranchised African-American voters. And by the end of Reconstruction, over 2,000 freed African-American men had been elected to public office in the South. This is like catching a glimpse of a parallel universe of America where you're like, okay, she's living up to her ideals. Things are changing. Things are improving.
Fair use, YouTube. Fair use.
But then the clock struck midnight. And now the 20th century, suddenly we have these tests. And so these southern states start playing like what they probably consider.
Keep in mind, y'all, these tests, they said, well, look, man, y'all ain't going to work for us anymore. We can't get free labor. We got to get this peonage, these black codes off the ground. You know, you Negroes built this country. Yeah, you know, we wasn't sitting around. We was sitting around in Europe, you know. They were sitting around in Europe probably rolling dog dung and pig farts and eating, you know what I'm saying, beet juice and rutabaga steaks. They was living not high on the hog. They had to come here. They had to enslave a bunch of us. They had to take us from our homelands, and you know, and then of course, you know, some of us might. There's evidence that suggests that some of us could have traveled, you know, here and there, and that we were here. Some of us were here too. So you had to enslave some niggas to build this to build this heaven, to build this white man's heaven. You had to enslave some niggas. Yeah. You had to enslave my great grandmother, great grandpappy. You know, to build this white heaven. Yeah, you wouldn't have had E90. You wouldn't have had the Mall of America without niggas. Yeah, we built it all. And thank you very much. Thank you very much. You ungrateful immigrants to come here and complain. Thank you. You're welcome. You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. And we had all kinds of stuff to try to shut us down. Like, damn, these niggas done built the whole country. They built the entire nation. And now we can't make them work for free. So what's other things we could disenfranchise them? How can we use a system? How can we refine the system of racism, white supremacy? Let's get the Klan together. Let's pay reparations to rednecks. You can't own a patent. You can't do this. You can't do that. All of that.
4D chess with voting laws. And basically the goal was to keep Black Americans, people of color, away from the ballot box. So by the dawn of the 20th century, all the progress that had been made to expand the rights of these freed people and their descendants was severely crippled by this institution of state-specific voting laws. And they were specifically designed to create confusion.
So when you look at the state-specific, they keep talking about what they can't do for foundational blacks. Why we can't give reparations. Oh, well, it's a federal. Oh, it's a state. It's a federal. It's a state. It's a federal. Then you end up with situations where they say, well, yeah, Venezuela, come on through. They start telling us what they can't do. Let's see. Let's have her take the test.
The number or letter of the sentence. A line.
Okay, now hold on.
You have 10 minutes to complete the test. A line. A line around the number or letter of the sentence. A line. How do you draw a line around a number?
See? It threw me off for a minute. A line around a number. You mean a circle or a line? These are weasel words.
I may have already failed. Draw a line under the last word in this line. Check. Cross out the longest word in this line.
Okay, that should be longest.
And number 4. Draw a line around the shortest word in this line.
The shortest
Draw
word.
a line around the shortest word in this line. Circle the first letter of the alphabet in this line.
The first
letter.
The first letter. So that's what
the
C?
First letter of the alphabet is A. The first time I'm seeing it is right here.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
In the space below, draw 3 circles inside one engulfed by the other. Wait, what? In this space below, draw 3 circles, one inside. But there's 3. 1, 2, 3. Is that engulfed by? Above the letter X, make a small cross. Got that one right. Draw a line through the letter below that comes earliest in the alphabet.
But just giving you all this cap. This is what our folks had to go through. Now, when people say, well, yeah, we went through the same thing and we had to deal with the same thing. We were disenfranchised too, man. Y'all niggas ain't had to go through no Jim Crow literacy test. What other race of people had to go through a Jim Crow literacy test? Who? Name them. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Like, share, and subscribe. What person went through a Jim Crow literacy test? I don't know. I don't know, man. Let's get some bars here. Who got some bars? We're going to wrap this up in a minute. Well, no, I ain't going to play that right now. However, what do we got here? What do we got here? This is an old school one. Oh, they done took it off. Why they do that, man? I hate it when they do this. I hate it when they do this. We do have an update on the sex trip and murder hornets. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. And go back and look at my Asian murder hornets. They try to call it a North American hornet now. They trying to get politically correct. The hell with that. Yeah, Northern Giant Hornet. They call it the Northern Giant Hornet because they don't want to offend Asians. Okay. This is from November 20th. Research update. Northern Giant Hornet. I call it the sex trip and murder hornets. Asian murder hornets. That's what they are. They're Asian murder hornets. They come from Asia. They're Asian murder hornets. It's saying the research update. Y'all know I've been following up with the Washington State Department of Agriculture. I worked with one of the scientists over there to give me some good information. WSDA entomologists recently returned from their second trip to Korea this season. So Korea ain't Asia? All right. Completing a second season of collaborative field research with the Youngpook National University on the the Asian murder hornet in its native range. The goals of that project are to learn more about hornet foraging behavior to better deploy the food-based traps we currently use, colony cycles, and diurnal behavior patterns, and potential dispersal behavior of newly produced hornet queens. The latter is particularly important for establishing response areas upon detection of hornets in new areas. The season was racked with challenges, including a typhoon that impacted some of the data collected. Nevertheless, the team returned with over 200 tethered flight meal trials, which is a way to estimate the physiological maximum of queen hornet flight ability, 250,000 data points for worker hornets entering and exiting their nest, and over 120 hours of camera footage of activity outside of the hornet nest. They also collected months of data from hornets tagged and moving throughout their foraging areas. Although this data is compromised by the hornets literally chewing their tracking tags to pieces. So they basically say, hey, you ain't gonna track me. You ain't gonna do no Matt Damon. You ain't gonna do a Matt Damon, what's that movie, man? Where they were chasing them around. Not the Will Smith Enemy of the State. Yeah, not Simping Will, Enemy of the State. Matt Damon. Yeah, Matt Damon wasn't simping. Matt Damon, Born Supremacy. Yeah, they don't say born supremacy stuff. They say, hey, get these tags off our back. Get these tracking tags off our back. They also tested new smaller tags that are not yet commercially available. The tags seem to have promise for studying many different insect species. All told, the team assembled a very large data set that will provide unique insights into hornet biology. Even given the many setbacks of 2023, which was not a great year for hornets in the local area. So they're showing a hornet sporting a new ultralight solar-powered tracking tag and a hornet pausing for a juice break while attached to a flight meal. So it shows tracking through November. Here's the citizen scientist trapping update. November 30th will be the last date for the Citizen Scientist Trapping Program. Empty your trap to process the last collection before November 30th. This means you should not rebait any traps after November 30th. Yeah, man. It says update from Georgia. Yellow leg hornets. The Georgia Department of Agriculture announced the discovery and eradication of 3 additional yellow leg hornets nests near Savannah, Georgia. They are continuing their efforts to eradicate the yellow leg hornet from Georgia. Interesting. So that's the update on the sex trip murder hornet. There's no other podcast in the United States of America that comes from the nigga experience that's breaking down the sex trip and murder hornet, the Asian murder hornet. I'm not going to call it the northern hornet. It's the Asian murder hornet. It's from Asia. They went to Korea.